G'day, wonderful listeners. This is episode 74 of Trev's Talk, and I'm your host, Trev. Last week, I left off talking about my discrimination case coming before the court and possibly leading into some TV coverage. I mentioned Maria, my friend at Avon Legal, also. I have made contact with her since last episode, and she is inquiring from a colleague on how best for me to go forward with putting my case to the federal court. So, progress is being made slowly, and I will report on it again in next week's episode. I spoke at a Catenians meeting since last episode. I talked about getting the Scholarship Fund established by uniting the 4 co-founders to all agree on granting basic funding for this year and for the years ahead. There is still a slight degree of unreadiness with the salvos to totally commit, but it is, like I said, a slight hesitation, and I am not worried that the full commitment won't take place very shortly. I gave a talk to my Catenians group, which was really well received by all present, and when I asked for a show of hands on whether I should give my talk to other Catenian groups, all present put up their hands. I confessed my difficulties in night driving. Oncoming car headlights tend to dazzle me, and I fear running off the road or sideswiping an oncoming car. But to my delight, the confession led to several of my fellow Catenian group members speaking out and telling me I could carpool with them when they visited other Catenian groups. That meant I would not have to do the night driving, and when I visited other groups, I would not be alone. I would be in company with some members from my home group. That would make it easier to socialise before giving my talk. I am planning on giving talks to other Catenian groups, which are groups of Catholic men as mentioned in previous episodes. The talks are really presentations of my book and how my life was totally changed by visiting Medjugorje and becoming heavily involved with charity work ever since. I speak on my current endeavour, the Moorditj Scholarship Fund project, and invite members present to make suggestions on possible organisations that may be likely to donate to the Scholarship Fund. I also have my book for sale, the proceeds of which go towards a separate fund which makes it possible for me and my family to administer the Scholarship Fund project without any wages, rent or admin costs for as long as is possible. Every dollar in to the Scholarship Fund goes towards helping Aboriginal kids with potential. Those kids are encouraged to take full advantage of their education. The July meeting of my local Catenian group takes place when I am in Darwin, so the first meeting I can attend is in August, and it so happens that there is a night meeting of a Catenians group in a suburb far distant to where I live. This is not a problem though, as now my Catenian colleagues will carpool me to it. That meeting will be a good test of how my presentation goes down with Catenians that don't know me and whether my presentation delivers me sales of my book. It will also allow me to further spread the word on the phenomenon of Medjugorje, which is what Our Lady wants me to do. I believe all the moves I've made recently are heading me in the direction the spiritual world wants me to go, because for 2 days or nights in a row, just recently, I received sessions of ecstasies. As I've said before, I'm pretty sure the ecstasies are rewards for progress made, especially when I've had to push myself to do something or override my misgivings and go ahead with a plan I've made because of receiving the GBs, my word for goosebumps. An example of this is me trying every trick I can to get a medical clearance to fly planes. At this point in time, I wonder if I really need a license to fly. I see a lot of technical study as part of learning to fly, and many hours of actual flying with an instructor are needed also, and that costs big money. Right now, I can tell you, wonderful listeners, I cannot see a need for me to fly planes when to do so will cost big money. My deciding to take my discrimination claim against Cessna to the federal court may cost thousands of dollars on top of the cost of flying lessons, which in turn will also cost thousands of dollars. But just a few days ago, I decided to fight Cessna for medical clearance to fly planes by pursuing my claim in the federal court, and then for 2 days in a row, I got ecstasies. This makes me also remember the 3 special dreams I was given, where I was 1, flying cheaply, 2, flying a Cessna, and 3, walking away from a light plane in jaunty and confident manner after passing my flying test. So, the dreams are telling me that I do become a pilot. The ecstasies are telling me that fighting on to fly planes is good. Keep doing it. This spiritual urging to keep going until I get my pilot license makes me take stock and try to figure out, why should I need a pilot's license? I can't see a need for it now, so do I need it in the future? I have been mulling over how the secrets to be given out at Medjugorje, my amazing future dreams, and the end times, prophesied in the book of Revelation of the Holy Bible, all mesh together. Firstly, the 10 secrets of Medjugorje are going to attract worldwide media coverage. The first 3 secrets are warnings for the need of people to turn to God, including the illumination of conscience and the unquestionable miracle of a sign from God appearing at the site of Our Lady's first visitation to the 6 children. Those early secrets announced to the public will make huge waves of interest, which will draw many people into doing the things Our Lady is asking them to do. Secondly, a large number of my future dreams, received over the last 16 years or so, have me doing things which seem to be virtually impossible when I am already so old. It looks pretty much impossible for me to do all the things my future dreams say that I'm going to do. That is, unless there is a mighty shift in how the world operates. This made me think about how the secrets of Medjugorje might interlock with the prophecies of the book of Revelation in the Holy Bible. The book of Revelation does not simply predict the end of the world. It describes both a time of judgment and destruction and the transformation of creation into a new heaven and a new earth. In other words, it is about the end of the present age and the beginning of a renewed heavenly reality. Now, I wonder, is there a time coming soon after the public release of the Medjugorje secrets whereby peace reigns over all the world, as Our Lady promises? I personally cannot imagine God allowing Our Lady's plan of peace in the world not to come to pass. And that is what Our Lady is promising at Medjugorje, peace in the world. So we can take it for granted that the fruit of the Medjugorje phenomenon will be worldly peace. There may well be enormous upheaval first, but eventually peace. If we couple that with the promise of the book of Revelation, where it describes both a time of judgment and destruction and the transformation of creation into a new heaven and new earth, we could also say that it is a time of enormous upheaval first, but eventually peace. It looks very much like a new earth is coming, and that may well be a time of rejuvenation. If we come to a time of rejuvenation, then all the special dreams I've been given will come to pass, and my older age will not matter, as like everyone else, I will be rejuvenated. Well, wonderful listeners, I will leave you with those prophetic thoughts for this week and catch you again next week. This is Trev, tuning out